Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nasze programy oferują wiele języków. Prosimy zobaczyć suprememastertv.com/schedule.
A vegan diet is probably the single biggest way to reduce your impact on planet Earth. Not just greenhouse gases, but global acidification, eutrophication, land use, and water use. It is far bigger than cutting down on your flights or buying an electric car. The animal people livestock industry, a hazard to our planet and our health. Part 1 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Vegan, our congratulations.
Guten Tag, loving viewers. That means hello in Yiddish, one of the official languages of the Jewish Autonomous Oblast. I'm Nikotina. The courageous people of the Jewish Autonomous Oblast are thankful for all beings who promote the peace-loving vegan diet with their family members and friends. May a peaceful vegan world soon be established on planet Earth. Welcome to our show, The Animal People Livestock Industry, a hazard to our planet and our health, part 1 of 2. On today's show, we'll take a look at our food choices and learn about how the dishes we prepare impact our health and Earth's environment. The urgent demand to curb greenhouse gas emissions, along with the need to produce climate-friendly food for a growing world population, has recently become a focus for scientists studying sustainable development. As more attention is placed on environmentally damaging food production and consumption practices, research on food supply chains and their ecological impact should focus more intensely on the carbon footprint of the animal people livestock industry. Many scientific studies have shown that the raising of animal people by the meat industry is causing climate-related effects far worse than growing fruits, grains, or vegetables for food. In one such study, scientists from Oxford University examined the environmental impact of 40 major food products. Their findings, published in a 2018 issue of the journal Science, showed that cutting meat and dairy products from your diet could reduce an individual's carbon footprint from food by 2/3. The study's lead researcher, Dr. Joseph Poor, says a vegan diet is probably the single biggest way to reduce your impact on planet Earth. Not just greenhouse gases, but global acidification, eutrophication, land use, and water use. It is far bigger than cutting down on your flights or buying an electric car. A more recent study reports that global food production results in at least 17 billion metric tons of GHG, greenhouse gases, per year. Out of this massive carbon footprint, animal-based foods account for 57% of emissions, and plant-based foods make up 29%. A report on this work was published in the scientific journal Nature Food in 2021. The analysis included food production activities such as land cultivation, food transportation, manure management at the animal people livestock factories, and other food supply processes. Professor Atul Jain, a climate scientist involved in the research, says, "There are many studies that have already been published on this topic, but ours is the first one that quantifies the emissions explicitly from plant-based production and animal-based production on a global scale." This study shows the entire cycle of the food production system, and policymakers may want to use the results to think about how to control greenhouse gas emissions.
vegan leader, beacon of love for the world.
We're grateful to the outstanding researchers and scientists who are highlighting the negative effects that animal people-based food products have on our environment. Let's take a brief interval now to pray that all humans will raise their level of consciousness and recognize the urgent need to end the consumption of meat and other products derived from animal people. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our show, The Animal People Livestock Industry, a hazard to our planet and our health. Scientific research has confirmed that meat and other products derived from the animal people livestock industry is a crucial factor in current and future environmental damage. Besides creating a massive carbon footprint, animal people livestock raising by both the meat and dairy industries causes air pollution and numerous health issues. In 2019, research was done in the United Kingdom to study the release of ammonia gas by animal people livestock factories. This form of air pollution combines with other emissions in the air to create particulate matter known as PM2.5. The study revealed that the dispersion of PM2.5 has been linked to higher death rates, respiratory problems, cardiovascular diseases, cognitive decline, and low birth weights. The study also shows that by reducing the number of animal people livestock by 50%, 3,000 premature deaths a year could be avoided in the UK. Air pollution associated with manure and animal people feed also causes health hazards for many people in the US. This pollution consists of minute lung-irritating PM2.5 particles that can drift in the air for hundreds of miles, leading to the deaths of thousands of US citizens each year. A first-of-its-kind 2021 study performed by scientists from the University of Minnesota sheds light on how meat production from animal people livestock is the leading source of deadly air pollution. Their report states air pollution from animal-based food production is linked to 12,700 deaths each year. Besides coming from animal people manure, PM2.5 emissions are also released from fertilizer use and tillage of land associated with the growing of corn, hay, and soybeans for animal people feed. Long-term exposure to PM2.5 can lead to asthmatic health problems and eventually the risk of heart disease, cancer, and stroke. The University of Minnesota team's work was published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science, PNAS. Professor Jason Hill from the University of Minnesota research team says, what we eat affects not just our own health, but the health of others. We're showing that directly. It's one thing to eat a low-carbon diet, but it's another thing to say, gosh, if I eat this delicious lentil dish instead of a hamburger, animal people meat, it might be better for my own health, but also for other people. The critical fact that meat seriously damages the environment and people's health is also being experienced in other parts of the world. In China, a recent study revealed that farmland air pollution associated with increased production and consumption of animal people meat leads to 90,000 premature deaths annually. The study, which looked into meat-intensive diets and the links to indirect health effects caused by environmental degradation, was done by the Chinese University and the University of Exeter, UK. The results of the collaborative work were published in the December 2021 issue of the journal Nature Food. In an interview conducted by the newspaper El Quintanarroense, Supreme Master Qinghai reveals how the animal people livestock industry is polluting our planet.
The livestock industry emits 64% raw ammonia, which causes acid rain and hydrogen sulfide. This is a very fatal gas. One animal, people factory farm, produces more waste and pollution than the whole city of Houston, Texas,
Que una fábrica
in USA.
produce más desecho y contaminación que toda la ciudad de Houston en Estados Unidos.
Yeah. Not to talk about all the chemical fertilizer, pesticides, antibiotics that run into our water that we drink.
Ni que hablar de todos los pesticidas, químicos, antibióticos y fertilizantes que van al lago de lo que nos tomamos. O sea, que van al agua que nosotros consumimos.
Yes. Even if we filter it, how much can we always avoid? Because chemical is not like dirt that you can filter it, you know? Not like sand that you can take the sand out. Chemicals, fertilizers, these substances just diluted in water. I don't think we can filter them all. In 1996,
Aquí, por ejemplo, en 1996,
the U.S. cattle, people, pork, and poultry industries produce 1.4 billion tons of animal people waste.
que en los Estados Unidos las granjas de puercos, ganado y pollos de los Estados Unidos produjo 1.400 millones de desechos animales
In 1 year.
en un solo año.
That is 130 times more than the entire human population produced altogether.
Esto es 130 veces más de lo que toda la humanidad produce junta.
We don't produce as much waste as just people and cattle and people poultry in the United States.
Nosotros no producimos tanto como las vacas. Toda la población no produce lo mismo.
On Earth,
En la Tierra,
the world population,
la población mundial.
the animal people only in the United States in 1 year produce 130 times more than the whole population
Y estamos
on the
hablando
planet.
de la población
Human.
de Estados Unidos en un año. Y estamos también hablando de toda la población de todo el mundo en un año de humanos.
Imagine how much methane they emit, and nitrous oxide, and hydrogen sulfide, etc. Many other gases can't have it.
Imagina nada más cuántos gases, cuánto hidróxido de sulfuro, cuánto metano, cuánto óxido están desechando y muchos otros gases que el hombre todavía no se ha dado cuenta.
People who live near poultry farm or pork farm, they get sick, they got asthma, they got heart problems, dizziness, headaches.
Toda la gente que vive cerca de fábricas animales le da enfermedad, le da envenenamiento, le da asma, enfermedades cardíacas.
Yes. All the lagoons, like lakes, man-made like the lake to house all this waste on the animals. People, they produce deadly contaminated fly people and other insect people, and people live around there, they cannot live anymore.
Todos los lagos artificiales que han creado para guardar todos esos desechos producen sustancias letales, moscas e insectos letales y la gente ya no puede vivir más ahí.
Even, 1 mile around it,
Incluso alrededor de una milla alrededor,
or 1 kilometer at least around it.
o por lo menos a 1 kilómetro alrededor.
The smell is terrible.
According to Professor Gavin Shattuck, co-author of the study, changing food consumption patterns can not only lead to improved health through more healthy plant-based diets, but also has important co-benefits in terms of the environmental impacts of the agricultural sector and those additional effects on human health. Professor Cao Yu Yan adds a more sustainable path for production and consumption of food is urgently needed. The current trajectory of food choices in China needs to be altered to reduce its effects on both human and environmental health, domestically and worldwide. The increasingly severe impact of our precious planet's global climate crisis is becoming more evident and prevalent. Disasters are being seen worldwide where flash floods, typhoons, storms, and other extreme weather events cause extensive ecological and property damage, leading to the loss of lives of our loved ones and fellow beings. Immense suffering is incurred due to these climate disasters. Our most beloved Supreme Master Qinghai has worked tirelessly to remind us that the only solution to climate change is the global adoption of the vegan lifestyle.
If we don't change our disaster breeding provoking way, then disasters will never end. I'm in tears whenever there is a natural disaster anywhere in the world. My heart aches for the suffering of the people. I feel what they feel, and I'm very, very much saddened. But we can only stop the disaster once and for all by tackling the root problem, that is, by stopping the mass murdering of innocent animal people. Only when we walk in peace and love on this earth will the earth and nature respond peacefully to us. If we protect others, we will be protected.
Thank you, most beloved Master, for your wise words. We hope that all human beings on earth will heed your sage advice and quickly adopt the vegan diet to end the disasters caused by climate change.
It cannot be stated too often that God's original design at the time of creation was that man should be vegetarian. The Reverend Rabbi Dr. Raymond Apple, AO-RFD, vegetarian.
Kind viewers, thank you for your company today. May we always be compassionate when making our food choices and carefully consider how the foods we eat affect the planet and our health. Please join us on May 30th for part 2 of the Animal People Livestock Industry, a hazard to our planet and our health. Coming up next is Positive Changes in Countries, part 38 of a multi-part series, Marvelous Governments, Marvelous Citizens, Malawi, Malaysia, Maldives, right after noteworthy news. May humanity soon switch to the compassionate vegan diet to save our beloved Mother Earth.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/PE.